Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys an update to my Drytron deck profile. Now, I did profile this video about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I did make a few changes, and I thought that this was a really good time to update this due to the ban list we got a few days ago. There's going to be a lot of people who want to mess around with the EVA coming back to limited status. So for those of you guys who are like returning Drytron players and are looking to test this out again, you know, this is a really cool card, but at the moment, I don't think that this is the right time, just for how like the deck plays with like new 2 and stuff, which is the newer Drytron support that we got, along with the DA Draconids. I think that right now, this version that I am going to be profiling is the best version. There are kind of 3 ways. This is the version that plays the Beto Buster Magic Key card. Then there's also the version that you can sort of sub this out and then play Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which in my opinion is slightly inferior. And then you do have the option where you can play Herald of Perfection or Ultimateness and Ava. So I'm just going to be sort of wanting to go over like that a little bit as to why I am playing this version of the deck. I'm not going to go too far in depth, and also if you guys want to see more of like the bones of like why I play certain cards at their ratios and whatnot, you guys can see my other profile. This is structurally the same deck. I just changed up probably about 3 different cards from that previous video from a few weeks ago. But anyways, guys, let's get on into the profile. We're going to try to make this a quick one. So we are playing the 2 Drytron monsters that I was playing previously. We have the Dad and the original Draconids. So these cards are just really amazing. This card is going to get you 2 monster negates once per turn while he's on, or you know, twice per turn while he's on the field. Getting the 2 monster negates, and then if you have IP Masquerena to go into Dynamondo, that's going to give you ultimately 4 monster negates. We then have that Beto Buster for the spell trap negate, which we just absolutely love. Again, the reason why I want to play this over Secret Village of the Spellcasters, there's a few reasons, but Secret Village of the Spellcasters, that is going to lock you out of spells if you don't have a Spellcaster monster anymore. So let's say if your opponent is playing Kaijus or something like that, or they find a way to get rid of your spellcaster, then you're just going to be wrecked on the crackback because your opponent's going to be able to activate spells and you won't, and like this card just locking you out feels so bad. Beto Buster is also going to give you a lot of protection against Dark Ruler No More, which is also my disagreement for playing the Perfection build. I just also think that playing like Ava and all of the other fairies that you need to just gives you more bricks and whatnot. So really the Herald of Perfection line I think is like the worst way to play right now. Secret Village of the Spellcasters in me seems like it's really cool because it's going to lock your opponent out of spells completely, but this build gives you enough negates anyways that it doesn't even matter if your opponent has you know, 2 or 3 spells in their hand. Like it's just not going to matter because you have negates for all of them. Then we're going to continue on into going into Cyber Angel Benton, playing 3 copies. Then getting on into the main deck monsters, we're playing 3 copies of New 2. I don't think that you should play any less than 3 copies of this. In my opinion, this is like the Stratos that the deck really needed to be able to find you like the combo pieces that you're missing. And imagine if you watched a hero deck profile and they were only playing 2 copies of Stratos or 1 copy of Stratos. It just wouldn't make sense. In my opinion, you want to play this card at 3. 3 copies of Alpha, very standard. 3 copies of Zeta, and then getting on into the one-ofs, we're playing 1 copy of Gamma, 1 copy of Delta, and the guy that I've always advocated for and is like actually good now, 1 copy of Beta Rastaban. And then also the 1 copy of the Ursartron. This card is just kind of nice to be able to get you into extra names, get you into your field spell, and kind of do some cool shenanigans. Then playing 2 copies of Diviner. This is just another like point of contention that I wanted to bring up because it's really important to me in my build to play as many Drytron names as I possibly can and still keep the deck down. I actually did squeeze it down to 40 cards now. I was playing it at 41 in the previous build, but now we are down to a tight 40. But with the 2 Diviner, there's another version where you can build it with actually just 1 Diviner and then 1 Vanity's Emptiness. But actually before filming this video, I did a few test hands, and during several of my opening 5 cards, I actually opened up with like 1 diviner every now and then, which just feels kind of bad because you're supposed to be searching it off of Ben 10. And, but overall it feels okay because it is just a combo starter. You can go normal summon diviner, send your Herald of whatever, and then you're going to be able to search for your ritual guy. Whatever ritual monster that you need at the moment. But in my opinion, if you open Vanity's Emptiness rather than the diviner, it just feels so bad. So I want as many starters and Drytron names as I can. So that's sort of why I just like playing the 2 copies of diviner. Then we're going to go into, and then the other thing is just that, like, you're going to be putting up, again, like I said, you're going to be putting up so many negates, like monster negates and spell trap negates. So that's why you don't need Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and lo and behold, you really don't need Vanity's Emptiness because you're going to just be negating and destroying everything that your opponent throws at you. So that's sort of why I go with these cards rather than those other ones that are going to floodgate your opponent. You're just going to be stopping everything they do anyways. Then we're going on into 3 copies of Drytron Nova, 2 copies of Drytron Fafnir, and then the 1 copy of Meteonis Drytron. Going on, then we're playing 3 copies of Cyber Emergency, just for extra names. And then for our last name, Foolish Burial. If you're ever considering dropping this card, don't. Just find another Drytron name that you can take out of the deck and put in Foolish Burial, because this card ultimately becomes whoever you need it at the moment. 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. This deck is just great at being able to utilize Droplet, send guys to the graveyard, and then be able to use their graveyard effects. 1 copy of Called by the Grave, and then 1 copy of Instant Fusion. This is going to help us insulate ourselves away from our opponent's hand traps. Then we're going to go on into 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and then lastly, no surprises here, 1 copy of Magic Key Unlocking, giving you that much needed spell trap negate. This card being able to stop stuff like Forbidden Droplet if your opponent doesn't pitch a trap card, or being able to mainly stop stuff like Dark Ruler No More, which not a lot of people are playing, but still, when it's going to come up, Magic Key Unlocking, being able to stop those kind of cards is just absolutely insane. Then getting on into the extra deck, one of my big changes is that I'm actually only now playing 2 copies of Mu Beta Fafnir. I was playing 3 copies because in this build specifically, your end board is actually going to, you're going to go through 1 Fafnir in your combo, and then you will possibly end on your second Fafnir at the end of your combo if you have enough bodies. But ultimately, if your opponent hand traps you with an Ash Blossom or something, your combo is going to actually be stunted to where you're not going to get into that second Fafnir. So I thought it was okay to actually just play 2. If you're able to extend, you totally can and go into that second Fafnir, which means you're probably just going to be beating your opponent anyways. So you're not going to need the third one to be able to like crack back on your second turn. But playing these is really cool. What I do basically for my end board, in order, I basically try to go into Dad, IP Masquerena, the Beto Buster, and then I try to go into the Speedroid, and then as my 5th or last piece, I go into Fafnir, and then after that, my opponent just cannot play. So Fafnir, like I said, is like the last end board piece that I go on to if I have enough extension. Lastly, we are playing 1 copy of Fuko for our last rank 1, 1 copy of Downward Magician, 1 copy of Zeus. Getting into the fusions, we then have Millenniumized Restrict, as well as the Natis. Getting on into Herald of the Arclight, these are our 2 diviner targets, and then 1 copy of F.A. Dawn Dragster. This is what I meant before when I said Speedroid. I knew that that wasn't right. F.A. Dawn Dragster is going to be one of the guys we're trying to end on. 1 copy of Relinquished Anima, just works so well in the deck. 1 copy of Dynamondo. 1 copy of IP Masquerena. These 2 cards just sort of work in tandem together. 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn. If you guys have SP Little Knight, go ahead and just substitute that in there. I just don't own a copy, so that's where that comes in. And then lastly, the last 2 cards in the extra deck, which are brand new from my previous profile. You guys should know that I love playing Underworld Goddess. She's just one of my favorite cards. And now that we have her younger sister, Moon of the Closed Heaven, these 2 cards work great with each other, including your Relinquished Anima. These 3 cards just work amazing to just try to dismantle your opponent's board going second. So I thought it was really cool just to sort of put these in. I was looking for a way to add in Underworld Goddess, and that worked out just fine. And then I realized I could take out that that Fafnir and then just go ahead and put in Moon of the Closed Heaven, and that actually worked out really well. So these cards just all together work really great. If your opponent puts up a board with some monsters in the zones that these guys are pointing to, you can just go ahead, summon out a couple of Drytrons, suck up your opponent's monsters, and then just go into them for some damage with Underworld Goddess, and they're not going to know what hit them. But now really quickly, let's get on into the side deck. Side deck, pretty self-explanatory, very similar to the last one. Natasha and Triple Tactics Talent, these are two cards that can be flexible going first or second. 2 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust, and then 3 copies of Harpy's Featherstorm to combine with Fuko. This is one engine that I'm kind of considering taking out, because in my opinion it seems a little bit try-hard. 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 3 copies of Evenly Matched, and then lastly 3 copies of Lava Golem. Lava Golem really working really great in the mirror match, being able to just take out like things that are giving big negates and stuff. But in also like just in any other matchup, you just put this on your opponent's board, Relinquish Anima takes him, and then like I was saying with the Closed Heaven, you just summon it again, pointing to a zone where another guy is sitting, and then you can just also suck that one up. So overall, like the side deck works really well in tandem with some of those extra deck cards. But anyways, guys, that I think is going to do it for this deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys are looking for a bit of a discussion on like why I different versions on like how you can play the deck, if you guys want me to maybe make a discussion video on whether you should play like the Beto Buster, whether you should play Perfection and Ava or Secret Village of the Spellcasters, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'd just love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section, what build you guys are kind of playing with, and again, just what other videos you guys are looking for in the future. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, definitely go ahead and check out the Patreon that is live again, or just subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again so much for watching the video, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.